Now it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham, and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Take now your beloved son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a whole burnt offering on one of the mountains I tell you. So Abraham rose early in the morning and saddled his donkey, and took 2 of his young men with him, and Isaac his son. And he split firewood for the whole burnt offering, and arose and went to the place God told him. Then on the 3rd day Abraham lifted his eyes, and saw the place afar off. Thus Abraham said to his young men, Stay here with the donkey, the lad and I will go yonder and worship, and we will come back to you. So Abraham took the firewood of the whole burnt offering, and laid it on Isaac his son. Then he took the fire in his hand, and a knife, and the 2 of them went together. Then Isaac spoke to Abraham his father, and said, My father. And he said, Here I am, my son. Then he said, Look, the fire and the firewood. But where is the sheep for a whole burnt offering? And Abraham said, My son, God will provide for himself the sheep for a whole burnt offering. So the 2 of them went together. They came to the place where God had told him. And Abraham built an altar there, and placed the firewood in order. And he bound Isaac his son hand and foot, and laid him on the altar, upon the firewood. Then Abraham stretched out his hand, and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. So he said, Here I am. He then replied, Do not lay your hand on the lad, or do anything to him. For now I know you fear God, since for my sake you have not spared your beloved son. Then Abraham lifted his eyes and looked, and there behind him a ram was caught in a thicket by its horns. So he brought it for a whole burnt offering in the place of his son. Thus Abraham called the name of the place the Lord has appeared, as it is said to this day, In the mountain the Lord was seen. Then the angel of the Lord called to Abraham a second time out of heaven, and said, By myself I have sworn, says the Lord, because you did this thing, and for my sake did not spare your beloved son, I will certainly bless you, and assuredly multiply your seed as the stars of heaven and as the sand on the seashore. And your seed shall inherit the cities of their enemies. In your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because you obeyed my voice. So Abraham returned to his servants, and they rose and went together to the well of oath, and Abraham dwelt at the well of oath. Now it came to pass after these things that it was told Abraham, saying, Indeed, Milcah also has borne sons to your brother Nahor, Huz his firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel the father of Aram, Chesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel begot Rebekah. These 8 Milcah bore to Nahor, Abraham's brother. His concubine, whose name was Reumah, also bore Tebah, Gaham, Thahash, and Marekah.